roseberries.
Those are really pretty.
Yeah, they are. I don't know where they came from, but that's what they are. I think they're roseberries.
Yeah, like they're really, really pretty. I love the color purple with the white on the inside and then the
Yeah.
outside.
I don't think they're native from around here.
Native?
I don't think so. Oh, what's this? A lost wolf dog. Missing since July 1st from Forest Lake Road, Chestertown, spotted in Pottersville on 7/12. That was last July. Um,
That's sad.
yeah, that is definitely from last year. 623, that's Warrensburg. Attention boaters and anglers. Protect New York's waters. Help prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species and fish diseases. Dry all boats and boating fishing equipment before using in another body of water. Be sure to drain and dry bait live wells, village areas, and bait buckets. If drying is impossible, soak all equipment for 10 minutes with a household cleanser disinfectant such as Fantastic Formula 409 or Spray 9 containing alkali demon words I can't pronounce. Demthiol benzyl ammonium chloride. Only use certified bait fish and do not reuse any other water body if you've replaced the water they were purchased in. Only you can prevent the spread of invasive aquatic species in New York State. For more information, contact the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, Bureau of Fisheries, in 625 Broadway, Albany, New York, 12233, www.dnc.ny.gov, F244. Attention boaters. Before you launch your boat or leave this facility, you are required to clean all visible plant and animal material from your boat, trailer, and associated equipment. Drain your boat's bilge and other water-holding compartments. Help stop spread the aquatic invasive species pursuant to the Section 112101 of the Environmental Conservation Law. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and Bureau of Fisheries. This is F-254. Up here. The use or possession of fish as bait is prohibited in Palmer Pond. To preserve trout fishing and maintain native fish communities, the use and possession of bait fish, dead or alive, is prohibited. Bait fish such as minnows, shiners, suckers, yellow perch become established easily in the Adirondack ponds if they escape from the bait pail. The number of trout in the pond declines rapidly after competing fish become established. The decline is caused by the competition between the introduced fish and trout for food and predation on trout eggs and fingerlings. Generally, bait fish species are not native to small Adirondack ponds. Most of the ponds that historically contain only brook trout have been lost to the invasion of other species. The presence of introduced bait fish all degrades native fish communities, which would naturally contain very few species. Trout and other native fish suffer when competing species become established. Help do your part and protect our remaining trout ponds. Please do not fish with bait fish in waters posted with this sign, it is illegal, and your fishing, as well as that of your children and fellow anglers, will be jeopardized for the years to come. A complete list of the waters in which use of bait fish is prohibited can be obtained at the DEC regional offices pursuant to section 11-1309 of the Fish and Wildlife Law. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, Division of Fish and Wildlife, Albany, New York. And last but not least, at the very top is ATV access route by permit only. People with a qualifying disability may use an all-terrain vehicle on this road. Contact your local DEC office for information on obtaining a permit. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. One of these days, I'm hoping to be able to have a sign up here that also says it has been discovered that a new species habituates in the Adirondacks, goes by the name of Sasquatch. This new species, although very understudied, I guess not understudied, that wouldn't be the right word. I got to come up with, and probably somebody already has, but for my own mission, I need to come up with that language the best I can, then bring it to my attorney, have her write it up. It's nice. But yeah, need to have a sign that explains to people that there are Sasquatch in the area, and that they're illegal to hunt, and that it's illegal to harass them, and they've been here for a long time. They haven't bothered anybody.
Wait, so handicap. Let me guess, camping probably, and then parking are here,
Oops.
I think.
Well, what this is, Camille, Palmer Pond, Lake George Wild Forest. This is showing you where you're at here. Public trail ends at private land boundary. This is the farthest point. I know where this is. Public trail ends at private land boundary. This is where another private land borders. This state owns what you see this, Camille? See what's shaded in green? That's what the state owns. That block of land, the rest of it's private land. This is the pond, and this up here says, "You are here. You are here."
I broke my poppet.
You broke your poppet?
There's a hole in it.
What'd you go and do that for?
I don't know how I did
Silly
that.
bird. Alright, well, let's go.
Oh, it's at least just the top one. I didn't pick all of them.
Yeah.
I'll just not play with the top one, I guess, now.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't rip.
What were you doing? Digging it?
No, I was just, popping them.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had these boots since I was 5. And
Yeah?
now I'm 8. And they still fit me.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Because I couldn't find my other boots, my black ones.
Your toes aren't shoved in those?
Nope.
No? That's good.
It looks like from the rocks, it looks like it has rain.
Yeah?
It looks soggy and dark.
Tell you what, that creek's down an awful lot. It's just June and we just had quite a bit of rain. I'm surprised.
I'm bringing the stick with me.
Gonna bring a little stick?
So I can walk like this.
Yeah?
See? I'm an old man. I mean an old lady.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say, you know, I've really got to start coming up with a better technique on being able to research Sasquatch. The fact of the matter is that I really truly don't believe that there is a large population of them in New York State, let alone the Adirondacks. If there is, well, I'm just going to throw a crazy number out there and say there may only be 10 to 20 Sasquatch in the entire Adirondack Park. I would imagine it's probably split up into groups of maybe there's 3, 5, maybe a 6 or 7, maybe the biggest group in the state or in the Adirondacks or something, maybe another set of 2, 3, and a couple lone males. And I've been hunting in this Palmer Pond area since I was old enough to be able to carry a high-powered rifle. Okay? And even though I didn't really give Bigfoot, Sasquatch the time of day, as far as a conversation wise, it was no different than anybody else. Yeah, Bigfoot, you know, isn't that the one over there out west, you know, they call Patty? And you know, just a fable, you know, a legend. But aside of all that, being a hunter, you're always looking on the ground for deer tracks. And if I had ever seen a humongous bear footprint in the mud or on the ground, I know that I would have not just looked past it and not paid attention to it. So, other than that track that I casted in research area 2, I can honestly say that don't believe that I have ever seen a Bigfoot track in the woods.
Where's research area 2?
Research area 2? Well, that's over where Dad always goes. I don't want to say the name of the pond because if I put this on YouTube, I don't want everybody knowing what pond it is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think you do.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I remember it.
All right. Oh, okay. You remember where you and I went camping with the cold weather camping trip?
Oh yeah, I remember that day.
Okay.
I was freezing.
That's the area.
Yep, yeah, I was freezing that night and I had growing pains
Yeah.
because it was almost my birthday when I was 7.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I was freezing.
Good thing we got that tent set up when we did, hey?
But I had a sweater, a long sleeve sweater, and a long sleeve. I had 2 pants on, and I'm gonna say I had 2 pants on and 2 shirts on. So I was super warm, but I was hot and cold. But I was sleeping in a tent.
You were sleeping in a tent?
Yeah, the one that I got for Christmas, and it
Mhm.
was in a Calvary tent. Remember the Calvary tent?
Yeah, you were in a tent inside of a tent.
Yep. And it was a small one, so I had a lot of heat.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it was fun.
But
I had a great
I
time
think
that.
I heard something in the middle of the night. I don't know if it was scratching something or something scratching.
Yeah.
Or I was just scratching on the bottom or something. Like a tent, like bottom of a tent, I don't know. But I did like put like a blanket down, I'm pretty sure. I slept really good because I had like the tarp under the tent, then the tent cover, the bottom of the tent, and then my tent, and then my sleeping bag that I slept in.
Okay.
So I
All
had a lot
right.
of padding.
Okay. Sure.
So I slept good, but my back still hurted in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised when we woke up in the morning and had a couple, 2, 3 inches of snow.
Oh, you left me. I didn't see you. I had to walk in snow, Dad.
Hey, look at that tree down in the woods down there, that big poplar that the beavers are
Wow.
trying to chop up.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Down there?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah. It's a big old poplar.
I bet
You know, there's
they
a lot of hemlock up here. You can look for that hemlock woolly adelgid. So I found out with that a little bit further that
and a leaf.
I'm actually going to need to get some stuff to climb the trees to get up to the top. Because apparently that hemlock woolly adelgid really kind of thrives and starts at the tops of the trees versus trying to find it down here on the bottoms.
I found a leaf on my stick. See?
You see? Yes, you did. How did did you poke it?
No, I just dragged it.
You dragged it?
And then I poked it.
And you poked it?
Look how many branches were on that tree. It's right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of branches.
Sure is. Oh, that's a squirrel. Yep, that's chipmunk. That's probably who's chirping at you over here.
They're like, why are you invading my privacy in my house?
Boy, there's a lot of good hunting around here.
I want to find 2 sticks.
Yeah?
Okay.
Go.
I want you to go on you. 1 second. Okay, I'm good. Now you have sticks. My nose itches.
Your nose
I
itches?
think I got hair
Yeah?
on my nose.
Mm.
Acorn.
More signs up here. Well, you know, so again, back in the day, this trail that's going off to the left right here, I mean, nobody knew about that. For only the locals, and even half of them never knew about it. And if you didn't know where that trail was, you'd walk right on by it and go on down to the pond. I mean, you know, when I first got my driver's license at 16 years old, and say if my dad and Jeff were up here, I said, yeah, I'll come up. And I'd drive the truck up, and Dad would be like, remember that trail to the left there, that's just before the dam. If you get down to the dam, you've gone too far, you gotta go back up top of the hill and look to the left and find it.
Can we go to the pond?
That's where we're gonna go, right out here. And this trail, like I said, it was like this. I mean, you barely could tell it was a trail up in through here. Now you can ride a 4-wheeler up in here.
Look, I found an acorn.
And yeah, oh nice.
Oh.
And they actually have, somebody told me there's camping areas they've made now off the trail up here. Brought up crushed stone and put little crushed stone walkways to trails, put a fire pit and a picnic table.
Made an acorn. See?
Yes, you did.
But you can take the top off of it.
Oops, sorry.
This tree is so big. Oh, look at any tree.
Another tree. I've got to look up why these beech trees have all these holes in them. See all these little holes?
Yeah.
I found a bunch of them today in another area. And I got to find out which bug is doing that. I'm seeing that they're all over. I don't ever remember seeing that. And to be honest with you, it's everywhere. Look at these things. All these, whether they're young or old, these beech trees, they're just mangled with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. Are they gonna kill off all the beech trees? That'd be horrible. Man. Yeah, I gotta find out. I mean, what can you do? Holy cow, it's everywhere. Beech trees never looked like that. I mean, they're just riddled, polka dotted.
That's not good.
It's some sort of bug. Tell you what, there's a widowmaker right there if I've ever seen one.
I'm scared to go under that.
Yeah, you stay right with me. Okay? Watch your hand.
I definitely would.
Yeah,
This
That's a
is me seeing
widowmaker.
a snake. That's okay, I hold on to you.
it's you seeing a snake.
Yeah.
And then, people don't know it, but instead of having to walk this trail and go all the way down here and hook around and go down around that bay and up the other side, you can cut right through the woods right here. You can go right straight down into there and come right out to that one nice camping spot. If I don't feel like walking right through the woods, not with you, we'll stay on the trail. Well, I have to say, I think I would have noticed these beech trees like this last year.
Like that one. All of them have polka dots.
Yeah, this one's just starting to get it. Just starting to get it.
Yeah. Maybe it's because they're getting old.
No, it's not. It's bugs. It's some sort of bug. It's an infection and infestation. That's horrible.
I made a stick mover. And then
Well, you know what? I mean, it's only been, let's see, if we go back 100 years,
100 years.
100 years, people started importing wood in very small amounts. Would come over on a boat from the rainforest, from Brazil, wherever, Africa, Europe, and they never even really honestly thought about the fact that, well, you know what, there might be a certain beetle that's still living inside that wood that you built that furniture out of, and then it gets loose over here in the Adirondacks or any other place. And then next thing you know, it's, doesn't have any natural predators. Like where it originally comes from, there's probably a bird or an animal or another insect that feeds off of them, which keeps them to a bare minimum, an equilibrium, a natural balance. But then when wood gets taken from one country to the next,
Start spreading.
when that bug gets introduced to an area like this, it doesn't have its natural predator. It thrives. Nothing eats it.
Mushroom.
Nothing kills it. The mushroom? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, right there on the ground, straight down.
That one.
Yeah, that's a nice one, hey? Nice little mushroom. Very nice. Yep.
What is that white stuff?
Who knows?
You shouldn't eat it.
No, you definitely don't want to eat no mushroom unless you know what you're doing.
From the store, 'cause I know it.
Well, if you learn about mushrooms
King of the wild.
and you know what ones you can and can't eat, then there's nothing wrong with picking them in the wild.
That one doesn't look good. It looks white, but it just doesn't look good.
trying to think of the name of that one mushroom that everybody likes to get in the woods. They hunt them all the time. They're yellow corral, sorrels. Sorrels, yellow sorrels, or they're just called sorrels, and they are apparently absolutely delicious.
John, something?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a mushroom at our house.
We do?
Yeah, that mushroom that you put it on the window.
Yeah, that one's dry.
Yeah, you said I could paint on it.
You can, whenever you're ready, absolutely. It's dry enough.
I've been ready since a week.
Okay, well,
since a year.
I guess you have something to look forward to. Let me tell you a quick story, Camille. You see how all these pine trees are here? They're kind of small. Well, they were way smaller when I was 20 years old. So you're going back almost 30 years ago, right? These trees were just 10, 12 feet, 15 foot tall, maybe a couple 20 footers, very thick. When you walk through here, all the branches on that, you would literally have to push through this to get through here to get to the other side over here. And again, this trail was barely even here. Well, I was with Billy Fry. We came up in here to go fishing for the whole night. And when we got to this point right here, Billy just kept right on walking right straight out into there. And I said, Bill, I said, the pond's over here, man. He's like, no, just follow me. Right, I know where I'm going.
No, he doesn't.
Well, long story short,
Oh my goodness.
we ended up walking almost over to Loon Lake. It was 3-4 hours later, or 4 or 5 hours later or something. We ended up coming out into somebody's backyard. They ended up giving us a ride back to the truck, and then he still wanted to come up in here. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. 2. And yeah, and we drove up in, or walked up in. I told him, I said, well, the only way I'll go back up in there is you're going to listen to me and go where I say, or that's. He said, absolutely, he says, lead the way. And we walked right down here, walked right over, got to the fishing spot, and got our poles out, and wind was just a whipping. Billy had a bobber on and had live bait, what you're not supposed to use, and he fell asleep. I didn't know it, and I saw his pole bent right over. I'm like, Bill. He jumped right up off the ground, grabbed that pole, yanked it up in the air. It was bent right over. Says, get the effing net. Got the net, netted this great big huge tiger trout.
Wow.
He went right over and laid down on the ground, went right back to bed.
Oh.
Hey, look, Camille.
On the grass?
Look, a rock stack. You see how people can get confused, right? You know, that is not a rock stack by a Sasquatch.
No.
Those are rock stacks by humans. And why they stack rocks like that, I have no idea.
Maybe there are kids that stacked rocks.
It does look like somebody has like a little walking path right here. So my guess is that's a marker for them to cut over to the nice camping area that's over into there. What's that, buddy? You need your water? Okay, yeah.
And I need something to cool myself off.
Sure. Well, listen, I'm going to shut this video
Okay.
off because it's already 20 minutes long, all right? So,
Bye.
here, say bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Daddy, get your water, okay?
Okay.
We're almost to the pond. It's right over there.